What's going on, YouTube? Welcome back to the No Continues Gaming channel. I'm your host, Edge Master X, coming at y'all with a video deck profile on Plunder Patrol. Hey. So, you already know what it is. Today, we're going to talk about what the deck can do, the archetypes background, and ultimately, I'm going to be showing you guys how to play Plunder Patrol from a gamer's perspective. We're going to do a lot more in depth than what I usually do, just because this deck is very special, and I'm trying to change a little bit of the formats of some of my videos and start giving a little bit more information. So with that, let's get it. All right, so starting with the monsters, we're on 3 copies of the main boy himself, Plunder Patrol Whitebeard. So basically what this guy's going to do is he generates a lot of advantage. When he gets sent to the graveyard from your hand or the field, he actually special summons a Plunder Patrol monster from the deck. And during your opponent's turn, what he can do is he can actually special summon a Plunder Patrol monster from your extra deck that has the same attribute as a monster on your opponent's graveyard or their field. And Redbeard does the exact same thing, with the exception of, instead of special summoning a monster from your main deck when he's sent to the graveyard from the field or hand, he actually attaches himself as a spell or trap card to a Plunder Patrol monster that's on your field. So I'm maxing out on both of those guys because they're just very, very good. Then we're playing 3 copies of Golden Hair, the newest Plunder Patrol. What makes her so insane is that she has the ability that when she's sent to the graveyard, you can actually discard a card and special summon her back to the board once per turn. That's actually really, really, really impactful because she just keeps allowing you to gain advantage, just like Whitebeard and Redbeard. These are the main forces of the deck, and they actually all just kind of work in tandem with each other to just generate insane amounts of advantage. So you have those guys. Then we're on 3 copies of Black Eyes, the Plunder Patrol Sea Guide. So between him and our Bluebeard here, the Plunder Patrol Shipwright, Sea Guide actually allows you to get a monster from your graveyard to your hand, and then he special summons himself. He was one of the newer additions to the deck that came out a couple of sets ago in Lightning Overdrive, and he's just amazing. And then when he gets sent to the graveyard, he actually special summons a monster from your spell and trap card zone to the field. Insane. And then Bluebeard, he actually can special summon himself to the board if you control another Plunder Patrol monster. And you also discard a card and draw a card while when he uses his graveyard effect. So that's it for the Plunder Patrol monsters. And then going into a little spicy tech, I'm actually playing 3 copies of Genta Gateman of the Dark World. I'll get into some of the plays and the reasons why we're using this card. But if you're not using it, I'm telling you, give it a shot. He actually searches the Dark World field spell, and guess what? All your monsters are fiends. Now, the other engine that I'm actually playing in this deck is going to be the Adventure Package. So we're on 3 copies of Water Enchantress of the Temple. She's insane. You actually banish her from your hand or your field or graveyard to get you Rite of Aramasir, because what this card is going to do is it's going to get you Fateful Adventure, and it's going to get you an adventure token to your side of the field. Now, something else that Fateful Adventure is going to do when it's finally in rotation is Fateful Adventure is going to get you 2 cards in this particular build. You're going to get Dracoback the Rideable Dragon, which goes off whenever you search for a Fateful Adventure is actually going to get you to Dracoback. It'll actually let you just search this card, and then Wandering Griffin Rider. When a monster that's an adventure token is on the field, you can special summon the Wandering Griffin Rider. And how these 3 cards kind of bounce off of each other is Fateful Adventure. Whenever a monster is summoned, such as Wandering Griffin Rider, it'll actually get you to Dracoback to your hand or to your side of the field onto your adventure token. And sometimes you can just go ahead and add the Dracoback and then discard it by adding the Wandering Griffin Rider. There's lots of like little different things that you can do to sort of just get all 3 of those cards in rotation and get them working the way that they need to. No problem. And then going into the next few spell cards of the deck. So starting off with the field spells, I'm only playing 1 copy of the Gates of Dark World. And then we're playing 3 copies of Plunder Patrol Shipyard. So we're playing these 4 cards here, and then we're playing 1 copy of Terraforming. So Shipyard, if you didn't know, what it does is it's going to actually let you search out
any Plunder Patrol card once per turn, and it has a graveyard effect which allows you to return a card on your field back to your hand, being a Plunder Patrol card, and it will set itself face down onto your board. This card is just absolutely insane. It just grinds really well. It's great. And then the Gates of Dark World. So this is where the Genta conversation comes up. You discard it at the Gates of Dark World because Genta and Whitebeard is like a full combo. It's pretty insane. So you can activate your Gates of Dark World. You get a banish on the Genta, discard a Plunder Patrol, draw a card, and then your Plunder Patrol monster will go off in the grave, and you get a free draw. And then the Terraforming is a little in-between card between those other two field spells. Moving on to the rest of your Plunder Patrol support, we do have 3 copies of Shipping. This card's amazing because this is your fusion spell of the deck. It lets you fusion summon a Fiend monster from your extra deck by fusing the materials from your hand or field, and then you can banish it, and you can equip a Plunder Patrol monster or an emblem of the Plunder Patrol to a Plunder Patrol monster on your side of the field. Speaking of emblem, we're on 2 copies of Emblem. Awesome card. The trap cards for Plunder Patrol in the deck that I'm running are going to be 2 copies of Plunder Patrol Booty. If you're not playing this card, you're just doing yourself a disservice, man. I'm telling you, you need to be playing Booty. I'm personally playing at least 2 copies because seeing it in my opening hand is awesome. This card just outgrinds pretty much any other matchup. This card allows you to change attributes, special summon a monster to your side of the field, and then it just keeps generating you advantage. Booty is an amazing card. And then 1 copy of Party, because Party is just amazing. This card, essentially, you don't ever use the field effect, but the graveyard effect, which is the one you're using, allows you to go ahead and equip it to a monster that was special summoned from the extra deck. And then the last 2 generic spells that I'm playing in the deck are going to be 2 copies of Forbidden Droplet. This card just trades really well with just a lot of different cards your opponent might have, and because your cards don't care too much about getting discarded, it's just kind of like a why not play this card to help out boards, to help crack and break boards wide open. Now, moving on to the extra deck. So for the extra, we're on 2 copies of Blackbeard, the Plunder Patrol Captain. What this guy's going to do is he actually allows you to special summon a monster from your extra deck that has the same attribute as a monster on your opponent's field or grave. So the reason why, and he lets you draw a card by placing himself in the spell and trap card zone. And the reason why this card is so insane is he just keeps letting you get advantage from different misplays or just different plays in general that your opponent just might be backing themselves into a corner into. We're on 2 copies of Plunder Patrol Ship Brawn. He is a synchro monster that allows you to quick effect banish an opponent's spell or trap card if he's equipped with a card, or just non-quick effect on your turn, just banish a card that's a spell or trap. And he gives you a Plunder Patrol monster on the resolution of banishing a card when he uses his effect. We're on 2 copies of Plunder Patrol Ship Moark. What Moark does is, as a quick effect or as a normal effect if he's not equipped with a card, allows you to just go ahead and banish an effect monster your opponent controls, and he gives you a Plunder Patrol spell or trap card. The fusion monster is Plunder Patrol Ship Lease. So what this bad boy does is he's a monster negate, and he can negate if he is equipped or not, but if he is equipped, he gets a search at the resolution of his effect. And he, as a bonus, he can actually special summon a monster from your spell and trap card zone, which is insane. This card just allows you to extend and even play very differently on your opponent's turn, depending on the matchup, because this deck is very matchup specific. And we're on 1 copy of Plunder Patrol Ship Jord. This is the newest card, and this is a card this deck needed. So this card, if your opponent special summons and he's on the board as a monster, he allows you to add he allows you to special summon a Plunder Patrol monster from your deck. Or what he can also do is he adds a Plunder Patrol card from your deck to your hand. And then when he uses his effect normally on your turn, he actually will go ahead and add a Plunder Patrol card from your graveyard to your hand, and then he places himself in a pendulum zone, which allows you to go ahead and summon a token to both players' side of the field. So, of any attribute, mind you. And then for our generic extra deck monsters, we're on 1 copy of Dragite for the negate spells and traps. one copy of Borreload Savage Dragon. This card's just still insane. Definitely use it. One copy of the White Oral Whale. This card you can still make, and it's still as good as it was last format. Just goes ahead and just punishes your opponent for summoning all their monsters in attack position while being chain blocked. One copy of Omega, one copy of Dweller, and one copy of Zeus. You can just trade these two out for Bahamut Shark and Toad. I'm just playing these two cards because currently in my meta, Abyss Dweller just has a lot more value, and Zeus has come up for me a few times. So next we're going to go ahead and go over some test hands and some different interactions with the deck. So the people that know Plunder know that this deck is very interaction based. So I'm going to show you a couple of quick combos and just really just interactions with the deck, not necessarily combos, that kind of just get your plays going and get you extra cards. So here we go. So first we start off with Genta. Genta is really awesome because you're actually going to go ahead and discard him to the graveyard. And he's going to get you this copy of the Gates of Dark World. We're going to go ahead and activate this copy of the Gates of Dark World. We'll just put that right there for a second. And then we'll go ahead and use the effect. So we'll go ahead and banish the Genta. We're going to discard the Whitebeard in hand. And then we're just going to go ahead and just draw a random card. We'll just have this as a random card, right? So then what we're going to do is from here, the Genta is going to go off and the Whitebeard is going to go off. So Genta is actually going to special summon from the banish zone to the field. It's kind of important that you do it that way, because if you do it the other way, Whitebeard locks you into Plunder Patrol. So just keep that in mind. And then we're going to special summon Redbeard from this interaction. Or you could actually do Redbeard, or you can do this copy of Golden Hair as well. So you can have it really either way you like. And the reason why is because it just really kind of depends on your matchup. So what we're going to do in this particular case, I'm going to actually show you guys what it looks like with Golden Hair and Redbeard. But so starting off with Golden Hair, you could actually go ahead and synchro these two together and then make your Jord. So then now you already have access to Jord. Jord's going to actually give you back this copy of Whitebeard to your hand. And then from here, what's going to happen is you're going to now put your Jord in the Pendulum Zone. And then Jord can use his other effect by returning himself to the extra deck. You're going to give you and your opponent a token. So this is the point where you declare light, because this is, you know, where you're going to get the most use out of it. And then you can just go ahead and discard your Whitebeard to go ahead and bring back your Golden Hair. And then you can link the token and the Golden Hair off for your Blackbeard. And then you can actually use your Blackbeard's effect, because your opponent now controls a light token. You can actually put him in the spell and trap card zone, and then you can special summon out your Plunder Patrol ship Lease, and you get to draw another card if you go ahead and do that. So you actually will have 6 cards in your hand before you even commit to your actual plays, and your Lease will be live. And then you have monsters in your graveyard for follow-ups for later. So that's just one part of the combo using the Genta and the Whitebeard. So that gives you already a lot of flexibility, as you're seeing. Really all the Redbeard is going to do is it allows you to make your Blackbeard, or you can overlay into just one of your Moark. So that way you just have follow-ups for later. So in the same scenario, again, with Redbeard, we're going to put these cards back. Redbeard and your Genta, it'll just allow you to go ahead, make your Blackbeard, and then you still have follows. But that's like the main reason why you're playing this copy of Genta, just because he gives you this Dark World field spell, and he just allows you to just get a lot of extra pluses for like no reason. So now that you kind of got an idea of what that looks like, then we'll go ahead and shuffle up the deck a little, and then we'll go over a little bit of combos and just different test hands and just kind of see what we got going on and give you just another view of the deck as you are playing it. So we're going to go ahead and cut here. So there we go. And then we'll zoom out just a tad bit. All right, so for our first hand, we have our ship shapes ship shipping. We have our field spell. We have Rite of Aramasir. We have Emblem of the Plunder Patrol, and then we have our Sea Guide. So going first, this hand is just absolutely nuts. So the best way to start off with this turn is using the field spell. So we're going to activate the field spell, and we're going to go ahead and discard this copy of Ship Shapes Ship Shipping. So we'll go ahead and put our cards down here for now. So what that's going to do is that's going to actually get us this copy of Whitebeard from our deck to our hand. So what's kind of cool about this now is you can activate your Rite of Aramasir. So Whitebeard's in our hand. Before I forget. So we're going to go ahead and Rite of Aramasir here. This will go ahead and get us our adventure token. We'll use this awesome Diviner of the Herald. And we'll go ahead and get our copy of Fateful Adventure onto the board. So here we are with that. So we'll go ahead and put our Fateful Adventure up here just so it's out of the way. All right, so then from here, what we can actually do is we can go ahead and just add the Wandering Griffin Rider here. And then we're going to actually discard the Whitebeard. So we're going to go ahead and add the Wandering Griffin Rider. And then we're going to go ahead on resolution of Fateful Adventure, discard this copy of Whitebeard to the graveyard. And then Whitebeard's effect is Chainlink 1. And then we're going to go ahead and special summon the Wandering Griffin Rider's Chainlink 2. So that way we bypass the whole, getting locked out sort of deal, right? And then so Whitebeard's going to go off, special summoning from our deck this copy of, where is she? The Golden Hair, the newest Plunder Patrol. So we'll go ahead and get her out onto the board. And then in the new chain after that, which is just insane, we're going to go ahead and get the copy of Draco back, and it'll be equipped to the adventure token, right? So we'll go ahead and put that Draco back next to the Fateful Adventure, so that way it is out of the way. So now we'd have 3 monsters on the field. And I mean, you've got literally pretty much everything ahead of you. So because you have the Golden Hair here and you have the Sea Guide, you'd actually special summon Sea Guide by returning the Whitebeard to your hand. And then what you can do here or there is you can go ahead and make Jord. And when you make your Jord, you can actually return your Ship Shapes Ship Shipping to your hand. So, this card, and then he's going to place himself in the Pendulum Zone, and then you can use that to go ahead and get that token. And then you can go ahead and pretty much do the exact same thing I was describing last time. So once just to show you guys, I'll go ahead and just play out the combo so that way you can kind of see what I'm talking about. So we're going to go ahead and go Sea God effect. He will actually special summon to our side of the field by returning the Whitebeard to our hand. And then we're going to go ahead and synchro these two into Plunder Patrol ship Jord and defense. And then after Jord hits the board, we're going to go ahead and we will add back the Ship Shapes Ships Shipping. And then from here, Jord is going to place himself in the spell and trap card zone, or the Pendulum Zone. So we'll just put him there, and then he's going to return himself to the extra deck to give my opponent and I a token. So we'll use this to represent the token. And then from here, what we're going to go ahead and do is special summon the Golden Hair. Oh, by the way, you want to make that token light, by the way. So you're going to special summon the Golden Hair by discarding the Ship Shapes Ships Shipping. And then you're going to take the Golden Hair and the light token, which is why we use a yellow one, to go into Plunder Patrol ship Lease in attack position. So from here, what's going to now happen, I'm sorry, this card keeps falling. What's going to now happen is you can go ahead and banish this copy of Ship Shapes Ship Shipping to equip something to Lease. Preferably you want to do Redbeard, because then Lease's effect will be live. And you still have your Emblem of the Plunder Patrol in your hand, and you do have a Whitebeard in your hand for the crackback. So you'd have, your disruption with the Wandering Griffin Rider, the Lease, and then if your opponent plays into Moark, Brawn, or the Blackbeard, you'd still have the ability to flex into other things as well. So this is just a little of like the interactions this deck has. This is just a small scope of what this deck can do as well. There's lots of different little things that this deck has, and if you guys are interested in seeing more combos and just different test hands and stuff like that, definitely let me know. I'm part of the Video Duel community, so I'm definitely willing to give any insight that I can on the deck, and I'll be happy to help.
All right, so that was Plunder Patrol. I literally just got done formatting and rebuilding the deck a few weeks ago, but I've actually been playing it, you know, online and kind of just testing things out for a long time. So I've actually been playing Plunder Patrol for quite a while. So I can say that this list is definitely one of my better lists that I've made for the deck. And there's so many ways to play Plunder Patrol. I would say that there has also been a list for Punk Plunder Patrol as well. And what Punk offers the deck is it allows you to make Jord without actually committing to any of your other plays. So pretty much any Punk and any Plunder Patrol card gets you a Jord, plus it gets you follow-up going into Blackbeard and things like that. I personally feel like the Adventure package is better because it gives you more interactions and it gives you more things that the deck allows to sort of stay in its bubble, and it's just as consistent, right? So that's why I prefer the Adventure package. I'm playing the Ginta as well, just because playing the Punk stuff seems cool, but I feel like what we got going on with this current build is the best. So you guys already know, like, comment, subscribe. We're trying to go ahead and build this channel on up, so please consider joining our Video Duel community as well. We do live duels all the time, so you might even see me, you know what I'm saying? So if you're interested in that type of community, just comment down below. We're ready for you. Remember, play, beat, survive. Do everything you can in life. Just do it with no continues. It's your boy Edge Master X signing out. Peace.